Yeah, I thought there was one somewhere, it just, you can push on it, so it shut down. Thank you. And every time they update it, they change everything.
Right.
And then they want to link it to my iPad.
That's the part that matters.
That can be convenient sometimes.
I just use my iPad for playing games.
Now 6:30, the April 1st work study session will begin. We'll start with officials reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Over the past 16 years, my administration has remained steadfast on one critical mission: eliminating our general obligation debt. When I first took office in 2009, my administration inherited more than $14 million in this troublesome debt. An obligation that is paid entirely and directly from the very tax dollars that fund our daily operations and essential services for our residents and businesses. This burden limited our ability to fully invest in the services that our community depends on. Paying it down was not easy. It required discipline, persistence, and long-term commitment from numerous dedicated public servants. Along the way, this effort was carried forward by 5 city administrators, 2 finance directors, 3 city clerks, 3 city treasurers, 18 council members, and 1 mayor, all working together toward a common goal. Today, I am very proud to announce that we have achieved that goal. As of now, our general obligation debt has been completely eliminated, reduced. Thank you. Reduced from $14,064,494 in 2009 to 0 in 2026. This is indeed a historic milestone for our great city of Southgate. It reflects years of responsible leadership, teamwork, and a shared commitment to our community's future. Together, we have strengthened our financial foundation and positioned our city to be able to invest more fully in the services and opportunities that our residents deserve. Today is also a day we can all be proud of, and a reminder of what we can accomplish when we work together with purpose and discipline. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
No report, thank you.
Mr. Treasurer.
No report.
Councilman Price.
No report.
Councilman Roush.
No report.
Councilman Graziani.
No report.
Right. The school district is on spring break right now, so just want to say happy spring break to everyone and wish everyone a very blessed Easter as well. Councilwoman George.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to read this from our Library Director, Don Priest. You are cordially invited to the Southgate Veterans Memorial Library on our 60th birthday. Come celebrate our past with a little history, enjoy the present with your friends, and yes, there will be cake. Join us Thursday, April 9th at 6 p.m. at the Southgate Library. And also at the library, there will be a reception for the annual Students Art Show, which will be held on Thursday, April 16th at 6 p.m. The artwork will be on display for several weeks. And I too would like to wish, I did mention one other thing too, a special thank you and grateful thank you to those who worked on the Hoppy Easter egg hunt and the children's Easter egg hunt. It was terrible weather, but there was a great turnout, and I am extremely grateful. I was not able to attend, but I know you were busy, and thank you so much. And also to thank the Easter Bunny. And also, I would like to wish those who celebrate Easter a happy and a safe Easter with your family and friends. That's all, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councilman Ayers Reese.
Thanks, Madam Chair. The Tax Increment Financing Authority met today at 5:30. They discussed the 2026-2027 fiscal year budget that was presented by Doug Drysdale, and that was approved. Also, they approved the seasonal maintenance for North Line Road, median to First Class Lawn Care Incorporated. That was the gist of the meeting for today, and have a great night.
Thank you. Councilman Golick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Downtown Development Authority met last week on Thursday. Again, Mr. Drysdale was in attendance to present the budget, and all questions were answered satisfactorily and the budget passed. But the main thing we talked about was the Crystal Gardens proposal to run the concessions at Market Center Park. We've had an up and down relationship with folks that have run that in the past, and we've got some solid proposals from Crystal Gardens. First of all, they're going to rebrand the venue to be called the Southgate Social House, kind of the branding recognition of that facility. We're going to have expanded hours beginning this year. They're going to continue the maintenance of the grounds, the bathrooms, and the interior of the property. They're going to pay the utilities, excluding the water. Approximately $48,000 in improvements are going to be made with refrigeration units, signage, upgraded indoor and outdoor furnishings for the park. They're going to make an annual payment to the DDA, and if it goes over the sales they project, it'll be even more than they have agreed to. And they're going to install a point-of-sale system for all transactions to help us better balance what's really happening at the park. It's going to be an 8-year contract with a 2-year agreement after that by both parties, if they would like to do that. And so I wanted to thank Dan and his team. We put this out for bid, and they were the only respondent to the bid, and Dan was able to nail down some real good improvements for the park, so thank you so much. In other news, as Councilman George stated, Happy Egg Hunt, or the Hoppy Egg Hunt, which was the adult egg hunt. Thank you to Julie and the Recreation Department and Maria and the Downtown Development Authority. We had over 80 participants on a 35-degree evening. Everybody seemed to have a good time, and the prizes that they won that were donated were very good prizes. The next day, Saturday, we had the Kids Easter Egg Hunt at Market Center Park. Over 300 participants that I counted, plus there must have been 100 people that stayed after to take pictures with the Easter Bunny. Thanks to the Case Commission and to Maria again as well for that outstanding job. A couple of items from the Rotary. 2 Saturdays ago, we had the Rotary Cornhole Tournament as a fundraiser, and we raised over $2,000 for charities in town. The highlight of the show was the Mayor's Contest. Mayor Cuspa and Mayor Swift 2-1 defeated Mayor Tobin and Mayor Woolley of Taylor, and a good time was had by all. Congratulations, Mayor. And then one more announcement, the Rotary Shred Day, which is an annual event, is going to be on April 18th at Dick Genty Chevrolet from 9:30 till noon. It's a chance to have your personal documents shredded on site, not have to put them in the garbage, you know they're taken care of. Monetary donations and non-perishable food donations will be accepted for local food pantries. And then as Mayor Cuspa related about the deficit, also wanted to thank all the employees. There was a lot of tough contract negotiations with all of our units way before I got on council. And I just wanted to thank those units for delivering dependable service to the residents and helping us with the bottom line. Thank you so much. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Marsh, please, for the agenda.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair. Under Communications A, the first item is the purchase of a replacement 750 kVA transformer for the police, fire, and court complex. The administration recommends Riney Electric, the city's approved electrical repair contractor, to perform the work. The old transformer has been leaking oil and cannot be repaired, so we're recommending for its replacement. Are there any questions from council on that item? Okay, seeing none. Next is a request to waive the bid and process and purchase, waive the city bid process and purchase engineered wood fibers from Ventura for Kiwanis and Cobb Parks. The playground equipment for both of these parks was purchased through Ventura, and as part of their services, they provide annual walkthroughs to review the maintenance needs of the parks. The wood chips provide fall protection, and it was determined that these parks should be replenished with an additional 6 inches of compacted wood chips. The administration is recommending waiving the bid to allow the park equipment provider to perform the maintenance. Are there any questions from council on that item? Seeing none, next is regarding water main isolation needed for the Barberry Relief Sewer Project. The Barberry Relief Sewer Project is a very time-sensitive project. It is being funded through that FEMA grant, so it's important that we complete it in this calendar year. So to not force a delay, the engineers solicited quotes rather than going through a months-long bid process. RJ&J provided the lowest quote of 3 quotes received. They're also able to immediately begin the work, which will make sure that the project can remain on schedule. The administration believes it's in the best interest to waive the bid and select RJ&J, the provider of the lowest quote, to perform the work. Are there any questions from council on that item? Seeing none, next is a recommendation to purchase a new canine animal for the police department. The current canine's handler has been promoted to the command union, and his role limits the amount of time that he has on the road. As part of the succession planning and to ensure there is not a lapse in availability of a canine unit, the administration recommends waiving the bid process and awarding Canine Academy Training Facility for the purchase of the animal, the training, and the equipment. Canine Academy has a class available this spring in April, and they've successfully trained our canine animals and handlers since the inception of our canine program. Are there any questions from the council on that item? Okay, seeing none. Last on the Communications A is a request for approval of an additional invoice associated with the emergency power line repair from February. As part of Ryan's initial troubleshooting and evaluation of the power outage, they identified a small 45 kVA step-down transformer that which is located inside the police department that was blown. So this repair is also eligible for reimbursement under the associated insurance claim that we filed. Are there any questions from council on this item? Okay, seeing none, we have 2 items under Communications B. First is the appointment of Jason Robinson to the Water Board for a term expiring April 2028. And then next we have the appointments of Robert Lafife, Mark Piccolo, Huey Craig, Carol Gordos, Dave Pinkowski, Stephanie McNeese, Nicole Hales, Darlene Pomponio, and Mitch Dobek to the Recreation Commission for terms expiring April 2028. Were there any questions on any of the items under Communications B? Okay, and finally, under ordinances, we have 1 item, and that is the rezoning of 15748 Fort Street from C1 Community Business to C2 General Business. A public hearing for this rezoning was held at the Planning Commission on March 16th. The city planners recommended the rezoning. There was no public opposition expressed, and the Planning Commission unanimously recommended the rezoning. Considering the consensus, council may vote to waive the second reading and approve the rezoning of 15748 Fort Street from C1 Community Business to C2 General Business tonight if you choose. Are there any questions from council on that item?
Madam Chair,
Councilman George.
is that the coffee shop that I had discussed with you?
This is the buyers of that property who were recommending or who applied for rezoning are associated with 7 Brew Coffee. That's correct.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Through the chair.
Councilman Golick.
And just for the residents' information, that's the former funeral home on Fort Street, located next to the urgent care near Leroy. And the applicant has assured us that the drive-through will facilitate enough cars to keep the traffic off of Fort Street.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I may, so this is just the rezoning. There would be a formal site plan approval that would have to go through to make sure that all that stacking would be adequate. The other thing that was brought up during the meeting is that the funeral home plans on selling, and under the current zoning of C1, it's very, very limited on what businesses could purchase and open up there. So this is really a way to make sure that even if it's not the coffee shop, that it opens up a much wider range of businesses that could potentially move in as they sell that property.
Thank you. We'll reconvene at 7 o'clock.
Too long.
Talk fast, Jan.
Yeah.
You look like you're deep in thought.
It's now 7 o'clock. The April 1st regular meeting will begin. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Golick,
Here.
Councilman Price,
Here.
Councilman Roush.
Here.
Councilman Ayers Reese,
Present.
Councilman George.
Here.
Councilman Graziani,
Present.
Councilman Cuspa.
Here. I need a motion to approve the work study meeting minutes dated March 18th, 2026.
Madam Chair,
Councilwoman George.
I move to approve the work-study meeting minutes dated March 18th, 2026.
Support.
Motion by George, supported by Ayers Reese. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carried. I need a motion to approve the regular city council meeting minutes dated March 18th, 2026.
Madam Chairman,
Councilman Roush.
I make a motion we approve the regular city council meeting dated March 18th, 2026.
Support.
Motion by Roush, supported by George. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. No scheduled person in the audience, no consideration of bids, and no scheduled hearings. First item under communications A is a letter from the mayor regarding the purchase of replacement transformer. Madam Clerk.
It is recommended by the DPS director, and I concur with his recommendation to waive the bid process and approve the quote for a replacement transformer located behind the police station from Riney Electric, the city's approved electrical contractor, in the amount of $63,879. The transformer services the Public Safety Department. Funds are available in the general fund budget. Your favorable consideration of this matter is requested.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chair,
Councilman Golick.
I make a motion that we waive the city bid process and approve the quote from Riney Electric for the replacement of a transformer in the amount of $63,879.
Support.
Motion by Golick, supported by George. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Next is a letter from the mayor regarding the purchase of engineer wood fibers for parks. Madam Clerk.
It is recommended by the Parks and Recreation Director, and I concur with her recommendation to waive the bid process and approve the purchase of engineered wood fibers from Ventura LLC of Brighton, Michigan, in the amount of $11,524. This purchase will cover both Kiwanis Park and Cobb Park. Funds are available in the Parks and Recreation Millage Fund. Your favorable consideration of this matter is requested.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chairman,
Councilman Roush.
I make a motion we waive the city bid process and approve the purchase of engineered wood fibers from Ventura LLC in the amount of $11,524 for Kiwanis Park and Cobb Park.
Support.
Motion by Roush, supported by Price. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Next is a letter from the mayor regarding the Eureka and Barbary water main isolation. Madam Clerk.
It is recommended by the city engineer, and I concur with his recommendation to waive the bid process and approve the quote from RJ&J Enterprises of South Rockwood for the Eureka Road and Barbary Street water main isolation in the amount of $41,500 plus a 10% contingency in the amount of $4,155 for a total amount of $45,705. Funds are available in the Southgate O&M fund budget. Your favorable consideration of this matter is requested.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chair,
Councilman George.
I move that we waive the bid process and approve the quote from RJ&J Enterprises for the Eureka Road, Barbary Street water main isolation in the amount of $41,550 plus a 10% contingency in the amount of $4,155 for a total amount of $45,705.
Support.
Motion by George, supported by Ayers Reese. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Next is a letter from the mayor regarding the purchase of a canine. Madam Clerk.
It is recommended by the police chief, and I concur with his recommendation to waive the bid process and approve the purchase of a canine animal along with the necessary training and equipment from Canine Academy Training Facility of Taylor in the amount of $14,100. Funds for this purchase may come from a potential donor. In the event this does occur, funds are available in the Federal Forfeiture Fund. Your favorable consideration of this matter is requested.
What's the pleasure of council?
Madam Chairman,
Councilman Rausch.
I make a motion we waive the city bid process and approve the purchase of a police canine animal along with the necessary training and equipment from Canine Academy Training Facility in the amount of $14,100.
Support.
Motion by Roush, supported by George. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Last is a memo from the administrator regarding the approval of additional invoice for emergency electrical repairs. Madam Clerk.
The city is in receipt of an additional invoice related to the emergency repair of an underground power line that services the public service buildings. The invoice is for work provided by Rainey Electric, the city's contractor for electrical repairs related to the emergency repair. This work was done prior to the work performed by Douglas Electric and involved the replacement of an existing small 45 kVA step-down transformer located inside the police station electrical closet. The total cost of the invoice is $6,036.25. These costs are eligible for reimbursement as part of the city's insurance claim associated with the emergency repair. Adequate funds are available in the general fund.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chair,
Councilman Gulick.
I'll make a motion to approve the emergency purchase and installation of a 45 kVA transformer from Rainey Electric, Wyandotte, Michigan, the city's electrical repairs contractor, in the amount of $6,036.25.
Support.
Motion by Gulick, supported by Roush. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. The retreat under communications B to receive and file. Entertain a motion to receive and file.
Madam Chairman,
Councilman Roush.
I make a motion we receive and file.
Support.
Motion by Roush, supported by, is that you? George? Right. Receive and file. There is one ordinance, a memo from the administrator about the rezoning of 15748 Fort Street. This is a first reading, but Councilman Ayers Reese.
The city is in receipt of a rezoning application for the above-mentioned address, which is 15748 Fort Street, Southgate, Michigan, 48195. The nature of the request, as stated in the application, is to rezone the property from C1, Community Business, to C2, General Business, to allow for a drive-through only coffee shop. The existing use of the property for many years has been a funeral home. The role of the Planning Commission in relation to the requested rezoning is to review the application based on the current master plan and the standards of rezoning outlined later in the report. A recommendation of approval or denial is forwarded to City Council, who will make a final determination on the rezoning. When reviewing the rezoning application, the Planning Commission and City Council must consider all permitted and conditional uses allowed in C2 district rather than what is proposed by the applicant. If the city approves the rezoning, future applicants will then be required to submit a detailed site plan to the building department for review and approval of any future proposed uses. At that time, the city will review the specific design requirements such as landscaping, lighting, circulation, and building evaluations.
Are we entertaining a motion? Are
Yeah.
you making a motion?
So I'll entertain a motion to waive the second reading.
First. You waive the first, onto
I
the
thought you
second.
said second.
Yeah, it would be, to waive the second reading and approve the rezoning of the address from C1 to C2.
Okay. Waive the second reading and approve the rezoning of 15748 Fort Street
Support.
from C1 to C2.
Support.
All right, motion by Ayers Reese, supported by George. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Is there any old business that council would like to discuss? Seeing none, is there any new business that council would like to discuss?
Madam Chair,
Councilman Gulick.
I was able to talk to Mr. Marsh this week about the quantity of waiver of bids that we entertain at the council table. And I just wondered if you'd like to, from the administrator's point of view, tell us what we can do in the future to adjust that in our city charter.
Yeah, certainly. The last time the bid thresholds in our city charter were updated was almost 30 years ago. It was in the 90s. It is a fixed dollar amount, so it does not move with the growth in the city's budget, inflation, or any other factors. It's just a fixed dollar amount. To change that, it would take a charter amendment, which would require ballot language. which we would be happy to prepare for council for review. And the process to change ballot language ballot language specific for the city charter is that language would be approved by council. It would then be sent to the state's attorney general for review, and then it would be sent to the county to be placed on the ballot for the voters to decide on. Given that it's been, again, since the 90s, since that's even been looked at, we are well behind our peers in terms of what our bid thresholds are. So just to put it in perspective, right now we have to bid anything, a sealed bid process for anything that's $2,500 or more, which is, it is far less than even if you just look at just inflation, what it was when our city was chartered in 1958. So it has not kept up with the times. It does not make us very nimble, and it does result to things like seeking quotes rather than going through bids. And one of the things that you'll see that we do often is we'll look for other organizations that have already bid these projects or different items. My Deal is one that you'll see. Sourcewell is another one that you'll see that will quote. Sometimes we'll look for other cities that maybe have made an award and bid it out, and we'll try to match their pricing. That's called like piggyback pricing. We'll look at all those different options because it is very cumbersome to put together a whole bid package than to expect businesses to solicit those for a month, especially for smaller purchases. What we've seen other cities do is tie it to the general fund. If you tie your bid thresholds to the general fund, it moves with time. If the city grows, that bid threshold might move up. If like what happened in the recession, if things get tighter, that dollar amount goes down. But we'd be happy to research this and put something together for council.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other old business that council would like to discuss? Seeing none, any new business that council would like to discuss?
Madam Chair,
Councilman George.
just let the residents know, starting Monday, you will be able to put your yard waste out. I know a lot of people have accumulated a lot of it because of the rain and the twigs and the leaves and everything else. And I know I have several bags that I'm anxious to put out to the curb next Monday. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other new business? Seeing none, moving on unscheduled person in the audience. If you'd like to address council, come to the podium, state your name and address. You'll have 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll move on to claims and accounts. Councilman Roush.
Move to approve warrant 1542 in the amount of $1,883,400.77.
Support.
Motion by Roush, supported by George. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair,
Councilman Ayers Reese.
make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion by Ayers Reese, supported by Golick. Any discussion or objection?